welcome to I'll Sip to That. It's your favorite girl, Shannon, and my super fly co-host,
Jasmine. Hey, sippers.
Hey, sippers. How is everyone doing this evening? We hope you're doing well. We hope that you have missed us. And we hope that you've been picking up your glasses, watching our YouTube shows, and sipping to that, because that's what it's all about. For anyone that's new to our channel, or if you need a reminder, I just want to let you know what Sip to That is all about. It's just a couple of girls getting together, giving our opinions on certain topics or different views of certain things that we're talking about. And we feel like if you're in agreement, we want you to pick up your glasses and sip to that. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be wine. We prefer wine, but you can drink to your favorite soda pop. You can drink, your coffee, your tea, your Henny, your Hennessy,
whatever you like.
Whatever you like. And we just want you to sip to that. So that's what it's all about. It's just about fun, interacting with us, and just enjoying the show and having a good time. And as always, we love your feedback. We would love your comments. We want any show ideas. If you're interested in even being on the show, hit us up in our DM and let us know. If you're in the 757 area, because that's where we are, then we would love to have you on our show. Jasmine loves to promote businesses, so I'm going to let her, talk a little bit about that.
So guys, we want to have any black entrepreneurs send us maybe like a 30-second clip in our DM.
Not just black.
Oh, well,
anyone.
I mean, we love all businesses,
yes.
but I strongly support the black community. Let us know your product or what you do in the community and how it helps others or what someone can gain from it. And we would love to have you on. If you make hair cream, if you sew scarves for football season, hats, got a black-owned coffee shop, because we did Starbucks for a while. Just let us know. We do nails, so we don't got to go to Ming Lee.
That's my people. That's my people. I love Ming Lee's.
I'm sure Natasha can do the same thing for $10 cheaper.
Okay, Natasha.
Just hit us up and let us know, and we would love to have you on.
Yes, we would. We would love to support anyone who's out there who have your own business. Let us know. You can either come on the show, and like I said, or just let us know what your business is. We don't mind giving you a shout out, because we are here to help you, and in turn you help us, because the more views, the better, and the better the show, and the more we want to keep talking to you. I just wanted to say that my weekend was great. If anyone was interested, I had a very. You were?
Okay.
Yeah.
What'd you do?
I hung out. The storm. What Florence was supposed to, we're in 757, we're in Virginia, so we were supposed to get the storm. Thank God that it passed us by, so it turned the other way. But my heart does go out to all of the victims in North Carolina. It's just a terrible, terrible scene out there, just watching that stuff on the news. So our prayers go out to each and every one of you. For anyone who has lost their lives, my prayers go out to the families. But on the other side of that, we celebrated. Like, one of my girlfriends had a storm party, so we went there in celebration of the storm missing us. So awesome. I was really happy about that. But at the same time, like I said, it's just a sad story all the way around, and they're not out of the woods yet, because they're still saying
a tornado watch.
Yeah, it's still in effect, and it's raining, so the water is still rising, and it's not going down. So my heart just goes out to all of those people.
Yes.
What else is in the news before we get started?
I just want to say rest in peace to Botham John. He was killed by the 30-year-old Caucasian police officer off duty in his own apartment. The details are coming together if y'all following up on the story, but we need to see justice for Botham.
Absolutely. I knew it was more to that story when I heard it. I mean, you're not just going to get off work. You're that super duper tired, and you're going to open the door. Just open the door and just start shooting a random person. Like, that just don't happen.
We need to read his text messages
instead
of investigating his home and searching for
what
are you looking for. But we need to be reading his text messages. Who he was talking to. We need to be doing some carpet sweeping for footprints. We need to know what's going on.
We need to know what's going on, and I'm sure by the time this story comes out, it's going to be a lot bigger than what any of us ever anticipated. It definitely will come to light, because everything that's done in the dark always comes to the light.
Really?
Yeah, everything. What you do?
Nothing.
Oh gosh. Stay tuned for that because I'm sure I'm going to exploit Jasmine. I mean, just because she's sitting here don't mean that we won't talk about her. So, but for all of you, listen, anything that you do, it will come to the light. I don't care what time that it might happen or when it may happen, but it always comes. So just always try to do your best and, you know, live your best life. But yeah, just don't be out there trying to hurt other people. Well, have we gotten all that out the way?
Yeah, pretty much.
We ready for our show?
Yeah.
Well, we are
I'm
definitely
excited.
ready. I'm excited too. This is going to be a juicy topic.
Yes, it
we
is.
have a special guest with us today on Sip to That.
Woo!
And I'm not going to make you guys wait any longer. We're going to go ahead and introduce Miss or Mrs. Shatia Love. Shatia, please join us.
Hello, ladies.
Hello, Shatia.
Hey, girl.
Sip to That.
Sip to That.
Shatia, thank you for being on Sip to That. It's such a pleasure having you on.
Thank you.
And, you know, I hope that you're ready to be open, to be honest, and, you know, help some of the women out here, or even men, you know, because this subject can be universal.
Right.
It can go either way, so we're not going to hold it to just one gender. But the title of our show today is, What is Harder to Do? Moving on, starting over, or letting go?
Ooh.
Haven't we all been there?
Yes, we have.
Oh my gosh, we have all been there. And I don't even want to take up most of the time with that. I want to just put this right over to Shatia. And the reason that we asked Shatia to be on the show is because Shatia is married. And just like a lot of us in our relationships, we go through things happen. And as much as the turmoil may be, and people don't quite understand, you know, sometimes why we might not let go so easy, why we're willing to start over or move on. You know, it's a personal preference, and you don't know how much you have vested into a person to determine whether or not either one of these things should be done. So I wanted Shatia just to give us a little bit of information about herself, her relationship, and just, you know, kind of where you're at right now, if you don't mind, Shatia.
Okay. I do not mind. And again, thank you, ladies, for the invite.
Of course.
Well, we're going to start from the bottom with letting go.
Okay.
Okay, I did ask a few people, and it seems that's the hardest. You can move on or think you're moving on, and that's what I thought.
Okay.
I moved down here a year ago to Virginia. I'm from upstate New York. Yes, I am married. We've been married for 4 years. It's rocky, and I think more that the starting over, I'm not sure if that's what I'm supposed to do, because I don't find a reason why I need to start over as far as looking for someone. You don't go searching.
Right.
Right. I learned that. We
Well,
we're kind of brought up, you don't really go searching, not the female.
mm-hmm.
They say, let your man find you.
Give me looking though.
And I don't think I'm really looking, ladies.
he's
I don't think I'm looking. I'm trying to focus on me. And there was a lot of pain that a lot of people didn't understand. And at the same time, depression goes into a lot of things that you don't know, to where I was working, not knowing why I was trying to run, because some people, that's what they said. And I don't find or feel like I ran from anything. I'm independent, one,
Okay.
and I have 4 kids. So it was me and my kids. I didn't run. If I ran,
Can't run with
I would
kids,
have left
can
them.
you?
I would have left them behind and made it somebody else's responsibility. But the starting over, I'm not ready for the starting over part. I think it's right now about me focusing on me. And at one point in time, I lost a part of me. Not sure when, why, but a lot of things in the past that I wouldn't have dealt with, I was dealing with. Letting go, I let go of a lot of the mistakes and a lot of things that he have done, as well as myself, because I'm not innocent. And
No, you don't look that innocent.
no, I'm not innocent. And to be honest with you guys, I do later on in the future want to work on a book that I have spoke with my spouse about. I am currently separated. We are still married. We're not divorced. He is currently incarcerated. And I told him I want to work on a book where it's called His Side, Her Side, and the In Between.
Oh,
I like that.
So,
I'll
don't
sip
take
to
my
that.
ideas,
I'll
y'all.
sip to
Me
that.
too.
she patented that. Don't take it.
You heard it right here on Sip to That, so don't try it.
The In-Betweens is the truth from
Wow.
both of us. Now, just because he's a man, don't mean he did all the wrong.
Absolutely.
Right.
I did my dirt, but I didn't do it in the sense of being married. Anything I did was before. Anything else I did was once you stepped out of the household and felt no longer that you were supposed to carry that title as my husband. And true, I don't wear my ring because that was decided when he took his off.
Right.
Okay.
So
I
I
agree
did
with
wear it. I wore it proudly. And ironically, he happens to have the last name Love. And I told him, like, do you really know what that means?
Wow, that's a whole nother show.
Right.
Yes. Okay.
So at the end of the day, we had children together too. They're twins. And I'm learning to let go as far as who I once was and what I'm willing to deal with, what I'm not willing to deal with, and where we can possibly go. And the moving on part will go into that. Not moving on as far as saying, no, we're not going to work on this marriage.
Okay.
But moving on to put the past a little bit behind us. Sometimes it digs itself back up, but hopefully it doesn't
Right.
surface. That when we do decide where we're really going to be at, because I told him one day at a time, that we can get to a point where everything else or everybody else doesn't carry
Exactly.
weight in our relationship.
Right.
Because people don't know.
Yeah.
The doors is closed and they think they got the key to unlock what's going on with you.
Say it, sister.
And
I'll sip to that.
me too. So, in other words, you got to know what you allow people to see versus what they're assuming,
Right.
because people assume a lot.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And it's hard, but there was a point where he was calling, I wouldn't even say I love you. And it's crazy. I'm not going to mention too much of the information of this part, but my sister had a post and it opened my eyes where she kind of put a post to where the forgiveness to another individual. And I was like, you know what? I told my husband I forgave him, but I didn't forget. There were conversations where I'll keep bringing it up in my own little way, or I'll have my days where I was mad and I'll bring it up. And he's like, if you forgave me, why you keep bringing it up? And I'm like, maybe I didn't fully forgive you. I did, but I didn't.
Right.
The more that I feel like I got days or even nights, not even so much nights, days too, and I be around family, I see them with their spouse or I see them with their significant other or whoever. And it's like, this is supposed to be me and my spouse. There's 4 years of saying I'm married did not feel like I'm married.
Right.
I married you for a reason. Yes, for better or worse, but I wanted the better.
Right.
Right.
And unfortunately, we don't get to choose
Right.
that. You know, when our vows say for better or for worse, we don't get to choose what the better is. We don't get to choose what the worst is. It's all the in-between stuff. And then you have to balance it out in between all of that,
Right.
you know. And I didn't mean to cut you off, but I just wanted to interject a little bit. And I don't believe in the word or the phrase fighting for my marriage. I can't stand that. I refuse. I'm not going to fight to keep my marriage. We will work together, and we're going to get this thing cohesive, and we're going to try to work through it. But I refuse to fight for my marriage, because that means that we're constantly going like this, and what is it for? Because if we're both wanting it, it's nothing to fight about.
Right.
What are we fighting for? So now I do want to ask, because I heard you say, you know, starting over, you left New York and you came to Virginia. Was that part of you feeling as though you were starting over and leaving him behind? Were you at a stage where you thought it may have officially been over, and now I'm just going to pack my stuff and I'm going?
Yay and nay. In the beginning, I did but I always said I wanted to leave. But I think that gave me more of a reason to say, okay, it's time. When I was waking up feeling like, okay, I'm gonna go to work to get rid of a lot of problems. And at the time, I was dealing with some family members that passed, rest in peace. So it was like, okay, who do I have?
Right.
The men that was important to me in my life no longer are here.
Wow.
So it's like, you're my husband. I don't even have you.
Right.
So who do I have? I can't call you. You're not there.
Wow.
So it's like when I needed you the most at that moment, you weren't there. So I would take work and work and work and work. And I worked at a nursing home. So I took my residence as my comfort.
Wow.
But at the same time, I'm like, I'm waking up, I'm either working or I'm in my room. I'm taking myself away from people. And a lot of people didn't know that. So I'm like, okay, if I surround myself differently, I may feel a little better. And it took a little minute, but I can also say I didn't get homesick. I didn't have those moments where I'm like, I'm going back home.
Right.
Because I knew how to survive even with a struggle. I struggled back home. I may struggle a little bit now, but I still know how to move forward. And there was a point where I was like, okay, I'm done. But then I'm like, am I really? I start questioning myself, and it's like, no, it's just you didn't learn how to grow yet as far as what you're supposed to be. Because me and my husband, we had this thing before where I told him, okay, I want to be married before I'm 30. And I felt like you have to be careful what you pray for, because
Absolutely.
I prayed for that, but I didn't pray for it the way I should have. I rushed my prayer. I want to be married before 30. Yeah, I was married before I was 30. I was 29. I'm 33, soon to be 34. So it's, yeah, he asked me. And yes, for those of us wondering, before he was incarcerated, he only was home 6 months, went back. I married him in jail, yes. Because at that time I was like, I love this man, so what would people think? Hey, you live and you learn.
You do. And, everybody won't understand your choices, but they are your choices. But I do have a question, because you said it was 6 months that he was out,
Right.
and then he went back in. You married him in jail.
Right.
So maybe you never had time to really form a marriage.
Right.
You were married, but not in a marriage.
Right.
And I don't know what you're holding on to or what allows you to feel like either one of these things, the moving on, letting go, or starting over, is the biggest factor, because I don't know, the extent of your love
Right.
for each other, and how it played out when he was out here in the streets or in the
Right.
world. So I don't know how much you guys were intertwined. Sometimes I really do feel like we get involved, our emotions get involved, and we don't use this. We use our hearts, and our hearts are such a deceitful demon. I mean, it really, really deceives us, because our mind will be telling us one thing, and then our hearts will be fighting, telling us something totally different. And I think all three are hard to do. Starting over, letting go, and moving on. But I think it just takes a person who knows, one, what they want, what they're willing to take, and how they value themselves in different relationships, to determine which one of those would be easier to do. And it's not just a one-person decision. I think two people have to decide, because if that person is not giving you back what you're giving, then it seems like it should be an easy decision to make.
Right.
But if you both are wanting to, like I said, keep this relationship going and building and making it stronger, then letting go wouldn't seem like it would be a choice, because we're willing to build. Starting over definitely can be a choice, but you know what? I don't care what relationship you get in. It's always something. It might not be the exact thing with that one person, but it seems like it's always something. Not that that's an excuse to stay, but I'm just saying there's going to always be something in a relationship. And then even with the moving on, it's not such a bad thing if it's going to be health related, if it's going to give you a peace of mind, take you out of depression. I have to do like Usher's song said, you got to let that stuff burn sometime. You do. You just got to let it burn. And once it does, you can see things so much clearer. Like, I wasted my time here, or this person really didn't love me, and now I'm starting to see the light. But when it's all this fog involved with everything, then yes, you kind of, you know, your thoughts get manipulated. You know, so even when you said you took that time out to yourself and you removed yourself from people, that's a good thing. You know, I can see also how you can fall into depression because you're kind of by yourself. But sometimes you need to be alone to be able to sort those things out without the outside, you know, coming in your ear telling you what you should do. And girl, you're so stupid, and I can't believe that you did that. And after he did this and that, you can't worry about what somebody else doing, because guess what? You ain't telling your story.
Right.
And I'm sure you have one too. Sip to that.
Yes.
Sip to that.
I will.
Sip to that.
I will.
How do you feel about it, Jasmine?
I'm just thinking. I don't really know. I am not that nice, so.
Not that nice as far as what?
I mean, my friend and I were having a discussion today at work, and we were talking about like moving on because we have so many of the same issues with our men. And I mean, for her to, she said that she would just stay with this one person who can't keep his thing in his pants. But what are you working out when he's not committed to you, and then you get herpes and you can't cure that, and then you can't get another man because you got herpes.
Exactly.
So like what are you working out? And it's no slight to her because that's what you want to do. Like you said, everyone has their reasons.
Absolutely.
I'm just not that person. I don't even know how. You can start over, like she was saying, you can start over with someone, but if that other person is not giving you that same thing, then, you know, it's not going to work out. You can want to start over, but he won't let you go, so he's still constantly calling you, still constantly texting you. So you're wrapped up into this new guy, but this guy won't leave you alone now.
Oh, let me just interject. Keep what you was going to say. But yeah, and it does work like that, because even he might not even want you, but he won't let you go because he don't want you to be with someone else.
Right, so you kind of can't start over. Like you're trying to start over, but I just feel like if I see that you're not vested in this, what am I waiting for? Why can't I do what you're doing? Like, I might want to like rock with you sometimes in the bungalow, but like if you want to be with other people, then why can't I? Like, this is not 1920 anymore. This is not 1950 anymore. Like, I'm going to do what you're doing. I'm not going to be as messy as you are, but I just want to be, we all want to be loved. We all want to be respected. We want to have healthy minds. We all want to be at peace. We all want to age with wisdom. So, you know, there's nothing wrong with moving on / starting over / letting go. Letting go may take the longest thing. You know, we all have dealt with death at this table, and we have not moved on from that.
Right.
We may grieve differently, like sometimes of the year, maybe harder for others, but we haven't let go of it, so they're kind of not, you know, the same. But yeah, I can move on. I can start over. I can let you go.
Exactly.
It will be hard because you're gonna always reminisce about what you had with somebody, but that goes for a friendship with your homegirl. Like, I could think about all the good times I had with this girl, but when I think about them laws she spread, real fast. So y'all gotta keep that same energy, whether it's about a dude or whether it's about a guy.
I'll sit
you know,
to that.
you can't be like, oh, I forgive him, but this hoe, I just can't with her. When I see her, she catching it too. He's like, he gonna catch it too. Like, so
my hands still work.
Like, there's no.
Absolutely.
I can start over, and you know, real quick, sorry. I know somebody that was in an abusive relationship, and I have not been in one ever, and I, you know, thank God for that. Just we make choices, but you love somebody, or you have 2 kids with them. You can start over because there are how many people, Shannon? 9 billion, probably counting. And somebody will treat you good, or you know, you have this guy that's just showering you with trips to Dubai and yachts, and you can. But there are people that are showering you with, you know, yacht parties and bags and you know, hair and just shows and just New York Fashion Week. But if you're hitting on me, or you're a drug addict and you're an abuser, whether you're physically, mentally, emotionally, I have to let you go because that's not good for my mind.
Right.
So I just say you have to move on and leave them Birkins and those Michael Kors bags and shoes and those Gucci. You have to. So like she said, you gotta do what's best for you. Yeah, that's it.
And that's very true. And I'm the same way. You know, of course, who does not want a good, healthy relationship?
Right.
And
Who doesn't want it to work out? We all do.
all
Like,
want it
I
to
want
work.
him, I just want him to do this.
Exactly.
That's it. But, you
Yeah.
know, he likes to do coke. So, do you want to get knocked up just beside your head every night? No.
I know.
So-
I'll be letting go.
So-
Starting over and moving on. Probably moving on to my phone, and after I break up with him and say, hello, police officer, I will report a drug dealer. No, I'm not that petty, but I'm just saying I would definitely have to move on. But I'm the same way. I can, as hard as it might be, I can let go. And again, I would have to let it burn, and it would just be what it is. But you would not continuously keep mistreating me, you know, because I'm not putting years in it. I'm not putting time in it. I'm putting what you're putting. And if you're showing me something else other than what it is, no. I mean, of course, we all make decisions.
Right.
I'm not going to say mistakes. We all make decisions and
Right.
choices on things that we decide to do.
They're not mistakes because we're in that situation for a reason.
Absolutely.
And only God knows why.
Only
So,
God knows why.
You know,
Yeah.
the way, you know,
Right.
any situation is not a time yet. So
Yeah, so I don't know. And Shatia, for you, you know, I don't know what lies ahead for you and your husband, but you know, whatever your decision is, that's your decision.
Right.
Right.
And if you're willing to let go, start over, move on, you know, Sip to That is always going to be here for you. You can come back and talk about it again.
Yes, and that's why it's so good.
Yes,
Oh, never
and
had this.
even with starting over, you know, it's not such a bad thing.
No.
I don't know, like I said, what you guys are going to do or how your husband is even feeling. And I do want to ask you this now. For you, I don't know when he gets out, but have you guys talked about whether or not you will go back to New York or whether he
That's
had come?
not my plan.
Oh, okay.
We have talked about it. He does not want to go back to New York. And a situation did arise a couple months ago where I thought I would have to go back home.
Mm-hmm.
But that will only be for family, to make that clear to everyone out there. Family. That's what my grandfather told me before I even came down here. If you're going to come back, it better be about family.
Oh, wow.
And because other than that, he said, what's your reason?
What's the reason?
There you go.
There is none. I went home for a couple of days and said, okay, I'm good.
Yeah.
But I know this isn't the main stop.
Right.
But I'm fine where I'm at right now. But no, he does not want to go back.
Okay.
And he plans to come down here. And I said, one day at a time.
There you
I
go.
can't promise you anything.
Exactly.
I said, I can still be a friend to you. I'll have the conversation with you, but don't feel like I'm going to do anything that I was doing before
Right.
besides just having this conversation.
Absolutely.
Hee ha-has with you. Yes, I do love you.
Be a friend.
Right. I do love you because I felt at the time I was not saying, I'm like, I know I do. And I felt one day I just was like, it'll be that one day I don't say I love you. Anything can happen. I don't
Right.
get that opportunity to say it again when I know that's how I feel.
Yes.
Just because I want to be stubborn that day and not say it, be like, I'm mad at you forever, when that's really not the case.
And you can still love through your hurt, through your pain. I can still have love for you all day long. That does not mean I necessarily want to be with you,
Right.
but I can have love for you. And you got to love yourself enough to know that it's time to let go, time to move on, or it's time to start over. So you have to love you first, all of my sippers out there. And even with Shatia's Miss Love's situation, you know, even when time divides you, take advantage of that because it's giving you some type of resolution for both parties to think about where you're at, what you want, and how you're going to handle it from here. Either it's moving on, letting go, or starting over. And that's not such a bad thing. It really, really isn't. And take our advice. Well, not going to say take our advice because we really haven't given any advice. We're just
had
basically,
opinions.
just giving our opinions, you know, because there's a lot of people out here, I'm sure, that's going through that and don't know how to let go. I'm not a counselor, so I can't dig in there and tell you what to do, and they can't either. They can only advise. But, you know, it's okay. All of us are out here, have either felt it, going through it, or know someone who's been
Or they
through
don't
it.
even realize they're in it.
Right. Very, very true. So, you know, we're all out here together trying to help each other be fixed and then try to be whole. But just make sure you know what you need to do, which is best for your situation and your best interests. But before we go, I want to do a couple of little things. And I want to ask you guys, I have some little letters here. Well, not letters, but a flyer. And one is stating starting over, move on, or let go. So if we had certain couples that I'm going to name, if they were to break up, okay, I want you to lift the paper to best describe if they would be able to move on, or which would be harder for them, I'm sorry. Moving on, letting go, or starting over. Just our opinion. Okay. The first one would be, of course, Queen B, Beyonce. Which thing would you think would be the worst or hardest for her? Mine is letting go.
Starting over.
Mine is
Letting go. Ding, ding, ding. Why do you think starting over for Beyonce would be the hardest?
Because her husband, I think, I don't really know if he would do that, but you know, it took him a minute to get her. So I think he will find a way to feel like she's not going nowhere.
I think
and they got a bond. Yep. They got a bond. So it's like, no, you're not, because we're both
right
at a
there.
level.
Yeah.
But she, ooh, go girl. Jay, no offense, no offense, but it'll be hard for her
to let go.
Well, to start
over. Okay.
Yes.
And you said letting go. Why do you think of letting go?
I disagree with Miss Love.
Okay.
She can start over anytime. She has the funds. She has the team. She has the support. She has his child support. But
I'll slip to that.
She can't let go. Okay, first of all, who are we to even tell them what they would do? Because she can surprise us. Like
We're only giving our opinions.
J-Lo went off. But she couldn't let go. My girl just, you know.
Jay, don't hit the subscribe button.
Lemonade.
Yeah, please.
Get mad.
Please.
She made lemonade, and then he went out for 4 for 4. So 4 not Wendy's 4 for 4. But she couldn't let go. She's saying it through resentment. Okay. I'd be like, girl, what's wrong with you? You know who you are. But I have not lived her life.
Absolutely.
I have not walked her shoes. I have not felt her miscarriages. I have not felt her pain. I have not felt their love. I have not seen that elevator fight. Did you?
I did.
Okay.
I did.
So,
I did.
It was juicy. Yeah.
So I don't know, but Beyonce and Jay-Z, she couldn't let go. He couldn't let her go either. So what do you think?
You know, I think, I told you, I agree with you, letting go. I think letting go would be difficult to her. Only because, like you said, they have this connection. It seems like they're so connected. And us as women, they're both powerful people.
Right.
And anybody would snatch either one of them up. Like, you know, yeah, and just like that. But I think for a woman, it's harder to see our man with somebody else than our man seeing us.
He would easily go with someone else.
Absolutely, and it would happen just like that. Because we sit and soak in our feelings, and we're still going to be sitting there like, I can't believe this is happening.
She would like, A-Rod, what's up? Like, why are you sad?
But she wouldn't do that because she's still in love with him. But for a man, they always run to another woman. Quick. So I think for her letting go, that's the feelings part. With letting go, because you're mentally you're going to think that, especially when you know your man, you know the type of person he is, and now that he's giving it to another female, no boo. So yeah, I think that might be the part for him.
You're gonna give your cookie to another man so he can cry in the shower.
Okay, let's do one more. Kim and Kanye. Let's want to choose Kanye. You think it will be? Yeah, we're gonna do Kanye. Do you think it'll be harder for Kanye to let go, start over, or move on?
I don't think he fits in one of these categories.
Oh, really?
He doesn't, but
oh my goodness. I'm gonna say,
let's see. Oh my goodness, you're waiting for me.
Yes, we're waiting for you. Oh wow, we're all 3 different answers. Letting go, moving on or move
Starting
on
over.
and starting over. Okay, I'm gonna go first. I think it would be hard for Kanye to move on only because it's something about those Kardashians who I actually love. And once you put your claws in them, it seems like it's hard to get something different because they are such a brand, and anything that might come after them is not gonna top up to who they are. So for Kanye, they breed him, like they accept him for who he is, and everybody can't do that for right now because something is wrong mentally, I think. But him and Kim, they got this thing, and I couldn't imagine him doing it with anyone else besides Amber Rose. But he's even in a different state. Yeah, but he's in a different state, you know, now being with the Kardashians. So I think coming after the Kardashians, he would definitely not be the same.
Shatia?
I think
You said letting
go.
Okay, why?
Because it's just Kanye, y'all. I don't really know. It's Kanye. I don't think he's gonna let go. But it is funny how we all picked different ones because he falls in all those categories.
He does.
He really does.
Like my first answer was moving on.
So I'm gonna sip to that.
Sip to that.
Don't be mad.
Well, I do love you, Kanye. I think it would be hard for you to start over. As she was saying earlier, where we kind of differ. Starting over doesn't mean like a whole relationship and a lifetime of love. You can start over with any random and just, you know, sleep with someone. But like she said, like they are like venomous. They get in your system and they are. You can't.
They
start,
are talking about the Kardashians.
Yeah, you can't start over from Kim. Like you can get you a, you know, Rihanna Fenty fashion show model, but Kim Kardashian, and I'm not even a fan.
My girl,
you can't
I love
really
her.
top that. Like they are in sync. She supports his small slides. She supports him in his mental stages. She supports his weight up and down. Like, like she said, like they are definitely
chemistry.
Yeah, they fit together.
Science project.
I don't want them to break up. I don't want to see him with anybody else. And Kim is just, she's like number 2.
Yeah. Oh.
Number 1. Number 2. So.
But yeah, I totally agree, and that is interesting how we see different things. But that's how people see different things in different relationships. Somebody would say you should let go. Somebody would say, "Oh, girl, move on," and this one would say, "Girl, starting over ain't bad."
And again, other people would say, "Oh, you're just so stupid."
Right, but that's not one of the choices because you know who cares what people think.
Right, opinions don't pay any bills.
Not one, or they won't buy a glass of wine either.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or two.
Or sponsor this show.
Or sponsor the show.
Or get us on the rails.
Well, look, this is going to conclude our show for today because we can go on and on and on about this. But we do thank you guys for tuning in. We hope that we were able to put some key points out there to help you get through the struggle of moving on, starting over, or letting go. We want to thank Miss Shatia Love for coming on and opening and spilling her wine, her heart onto us and just letting us in a little bit on, you know, just being married and the struggle of still trying to decide what's next, because that's basically what it is for her right now. But we do thank you guys. Please subscribe to our channel.
Yes.
Tag a friend. If there's any topics of anything that you want to talk about, discuss, shout out your businesses, hit us up in our DM. We will definitely support you and sponsor you. And we're also looking for sponsors.
Shout out to Tati Treats, Tottey Treats. She makes popcorn, drinks, not drinks, I'm sorry, popcorn and cupcakes with the little drinks in them. So, you know,
we need
hit
to
her
try
up
that
on
out.
Instagram so that you can get your treats from Tati.
And also shout out to Rolling with the Wheelers Party Bus Service. If anyone is looking for a party bus, please go to Instagram, Rolling with the Wheelers, and schedule your perfect party.
Yes.
So that service is there. It's an extension of Sip to That. So please just follow that, tag a friend, and let's just keep this all going. Yes. But we thank you guys for tuning in to another series of Sip to That. And as always, we love you and Sip to That.